Okay, to answer this question, a couple things. First, we had to know what the area of a kite is. So we have the diagonals, which are the perpendicular lines here. And so the area is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. Diagonal 1 is the long, diagonal 2 is the short diagonal. So that's the first thing. But how do we find the diagonals when they're not labeled for us? So in this case, we have to use the distance formula between the 2 points. So we have point T to point S. I'm sorry, to point R is diagonal 1. And then we've got Q to S, which will be diagonal 2. Once we find those lengths, we can multiply and find the area. So first we have to find that. So the points are labeled already. I have here. If we're going to find diagonal 1, which is the blue one, and it's T to R, so we're going to have to plug in oops, wrong side. We're going to have to plug in the distance formula for this. So x1, y1, x2, y2, however you're going to label it, just keep it consistent. So x1, y1, 5 minus 0 squared plus 5 minus 0 squared is 5 squared plus 5 squared, so 25 plus 25 is the square root of 50, which can be simplified to the square root of 25 times the square root of 2, which is simplified to 5 times the square root of 2. So that's diagonal 1. That's the length of diagonal 1. Diagonal 2 is, I'm going to go skinnier because the fat one. Oh. This thing is acting up. There we go. Diagonal 2, which is green, we'll say x1, y1, x2, y2. So x2 is 3 minus 0 squared plus x2 is 0 minus 3 squared. And you'll notice this is a negative 3, but once you square it, it'll be a positive 9. So 3 squared, which is 9, plus negative, what happened? Oh, this thing is acting strange. Let me do that real quick. So it'll end up being 3 squared plus negative 3 squared, which is 9 plus 9, which equals the square root of 18, which also equals the square root of 9 times the square root of 2. Because we want to simplify as much as possible, and we end up with 3 times the square root of 2 for diagonal 2. Now I need to plug it in to the formula, which is the area equals 1/2 diagonal 1, which is 5 times the square root of 2 times, oh, for criminy sake. This thing's acting up today. Okay, well, ignore all that mess. I'm just going to redo it down here. All right, whatever. 3 times the square root of 2. So 5 times 3 is 15. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2, which is really the square root of 4, is 2. Right? Because you get 2 times 2 equals the square root of 4, which equals 2. So now I've got 15 times 2, which is 30, divided by 2 is 15, or you can look at this and go, well, I'm dividing by half, and I have 15. Or the longer way is, sorry, my dog's crying because I think she wants to be fed. 1/2, 15 times 2 is 30, which is still 30 divided by half is 15. So the answer is 15 units. I hope that helped.